I was born and raised in Harrow, a sleepy little town where everyone knew your business before you did. After high school, I left for college, eager to carve out a life beyond its familiar streets. By the time I graduated, I had fallen in love with retail, not just any retail, but lingerie. There was something intimate and empowering about helping women find confidence in their own skin. I poured everything into my work, climbing from sales associate to boutique manager, and eventually, to owning my own chain of stores, some cozy, some luxurious, all mine. But success came at a cost. My personal life was a series of fleeting dates and half-hearted relationships that never stuck. Until Henry. It started with a friend request, a man in a tailored suit, his sharp gaze piercing even through a pixelated profile picture. A lawyer. His bio declared. Intrigued, I accepted. His first message arrived late one evening while I was buried in inventory spreadsheets. Issa, right? I've heard you're the woman who makes Harrow's lingerie scene unforgettable. I snorted. And who exactly is spreading such scandalous rumors? A man who appreciates a woman with ambition, he replied. From there, our conversations flowed effortlessly, banter about terrible pickup lines, debates over the best coffee in town, and, eventually, deeper talks about life, dreams, and the things that kept us up at night. Henry had a way of making me laugh when the world felt heavy, and before I knew it, I was looking forward to his messages more than I cared to admit. A year later, he surprised me outside my flagship store on a frostbitten evening, his breath curling in the air as he fumbled with something in his coat pocket. Issa, he began, uncharacteristically nervous. We've been good together, haven't we? I nodded, my fingers tightening around my keys. Then let's stop pretending this is temporary. He dropped to one knee, producing a velvet box. Marry me. My heart hammered. Yes, I whispered, the word tumbling out before I could second-guess it. But then his expression shifted. There's something else. The word prenup hit me like a bucket of ice water. Seriously, Henry? I recoiled. You propose and then slap legal conditions on it? He caught my hands, his grip firm. It's not about trust. It's practicality. I've seen marriages implode in courtrooms. I don't want that for us. This protects us both. From what? He pulled documents from his briefcase. Infidelity clause. If either of us strays, the cheater forfeits everything. A cold knot formed in my stomach. You think I'd ever? No, he said quickly, but life is unpredictable. I'd never risk us. Issa, this just ensures neither of us ever does. I signed it days later, my lawyer's reassurances doing little to ease the unease coiling inside me. The cracks begin to show. At first, nothing changed. We were the golden couple, always touching, laughing, exchanging secret smiles at parties. But then, the jealousy started. It was subtle at first, a tightened jaw when a male colleague complimented my work, a pointed silence if I mentioned meeting a friend for coffee. Then came the accusations. Who was that guy at the perfume counter? Henry demanded one evening after we left the mall. The sales associate? I blinked. I was smelling testers. You were flirting. Are you hearing yourself? He stormed off, leaving me standing in the parking lot, stunned. The incidents piled up. He grew distant, burying himself in work, leaving dinners untouched. His phone always angled away from me. When mutual friends hesitantly mentioned Henry had been venting about my habit of leading men on, I confronted him. You're trashing me to our friends? I'm just saying what I see, he snapped. The fight that followed was volcanic. The hotel room. Then came the note. Issa, meet me at the Grand View Hotel, room 181, 7:10 p.m. Let's start over. Hope flickered. Maybe he was finally ready to fix this. But the moment I stepped into the room, Henry's face was twisted in fury. So, the cheating wife finally shows her face. What? He hurled photos onto the bed, images of me, tangled with a stranger, half-dressed. My stomach dropped. Henry, I swear, this isn't. Save it, he snarled. The prenup's in effect. You lose everything. The room spun. None of it made sense. Until I noticed the timestamp on the photos. 7:12 p.m. I'd walked in at *7:10. 2 minutes. 2 minutes that had just destroyed my life. I begged Henry to listen. my voice cracking under the weight of his accusations, but his eyes, once warm with affection, were now glacial. Believe you? He barked a humorless laugh, yanking his suitcase from the closet. The photos don't lie. You're a cheat, Issa, and thanks to our prenup, you'll leave this marriage with nothing but the clothes on your back. The door slammed with finality, the sound reverberating through our hollow home. I crumpled onto the couch, my skull pounding as if someone had taken a hammer to it. The night's events flickered in my mind like a corrupted film reel, flashes of the hotel room, the too sweet wine, the nauseating blackout. The wine. One glass shouldn't have knocked me out cold. Fumbling for my phone, I dialed Riley, my hands trembling. I think I was drugged, I blurted the second she answered. A sharp inhale. Get to a lab now. Demand a full tox screen, GHB, Rehypnol, the works. The evidence. The lab results came back 3 days later, just as Henry's lawsuit arrived like a funeral notice. Positive for midazolam. A sedative used in hospitals, not something you slip into a casual Pinot Grigio. My lawyer, Jacob, steepled his fingers as I slid the report across his desk. This changes everything, but we need proof Henry orchestrated it. As if fate intervened, I spotted Henry that very afternoon outside a cafe, huddled with the same man from the damning photos. I ducked behind a parked car, filming as they exchanged a thick envelope. The stranger tucked it into his jacket with the furtiveness of a paid conspirator. Got you, I whispered. The investigation. Wyatt, the grizzled pie Jacob enlisted, tracked down the other man within 48 hours. Kid's a struggling actor, Wyatt growled, tossing a file onto Jacob's desk. Says Henry paid him $5,000 to play a role, complete with staged photos and a script about seducing you. Jacob's pen tapped the blood test results. And the drugging? Actor swears he didn't know about that part. But Henry? He's done this before. A chill slithered down my spine. Before? Wyatt flipped open another dossier, divorce records from Henry's 2 previous marriages. Both wives had signed infidelity clauses. Both lost everything. Ladies, meet Henry Clark's business model, Jacob said grimly. The showdown. The courtroom smelled of polished wood and stale ambition. Henry, ever the performer, painted me as a serial adulteress to a gasping jury. She made a mockery of our vows, he proclaimed, projecting the fake photos onto a screen. Then Jacob stood. Your Honor, the defense calls Mr. Evan Cole. The actor shuffled in, avoiding Henry's venomous glare. His testimony unraveled Henry's scheme stitch by stitch, the rehearsed affair, the envelope of cash, Henry's hissed warning, stick to the story, or you'll regret it. When Jacob played my cafe video, Henry's knuckles whitened around the defense table. Then came the coup de grace. Exhibit 12, Jacob announced, handing the judge my tox screen. Proof Ms. Harrow was chemically incapacitated the night these infidelities allegedly occurred. The gallery erupted. The fall. The judge's gavel cracked like thunder. Prenup nullified. Mr. Clark's claims are not only unfounded but demonstrably fraudulent. She fixed Henry with a withering stare. Given the evidence of premeditation, I award Ms. Harrow $601,000 in punitive damages. Henry's fiancée, Nova, bolted from her seat, tears streaking her face. You told me she was the liar. She spat at him before storming out. By week's end, the state bar revoked Henry's law license. His other ex-wives filed suits. The Daily Tribune ran a front-page exposé. The Black Widower, how one lawyer scammed his way through 3 marriages. The aftermath. I stood in my boutique's back office one evening, watching sunset gild the racks of silk and lace. The fight had cost me sleepless nights, a year of my life, the naive belief that love was sacred. But it gave me something too. A text buzzed. Riley, drinks tonight? I'm buying. I smiled for the first time in months. Somewhere out there, Henry was drowning in the wreckage of his own making. And I? I was just getting started.